Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Magic Moments, where we explore the stories, history, and latest happenings from Disney parks around the world. I'm Chris.
And I'm Taryn. We're so glad you're here. Whether you're planning your next trip or just dreaming from home, we've got you covered with what's new, what's changing, and what's magical.
Perfect. So, section one, bittersweet, closures, and retheming. So, first up, let's start with Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue at Disneyland. This will close by early 2026, and it will excitingly make way for brand new Avatar theme land, a major rework of the Hollywood backlot. So, if you love Roz giving you attitude, time's ticking. Next up, Disney World. Muppets Vision 3D after 3 decades, or took its final bow on June 8th, and it's making way for something Muppets related, which is the themed rock and roll roller coaster, but no official word yet. I'm very excited for the roller coaster, if only because it reminds me of the Aerosmith rock and roll roller coaster ride that was inside and upside down. I think was one of my first experiences with both things on a roller coaster. So if they make it similar to that, I'm all game. I presume maybe they'll make it a little more child friendly because it's Muppets themed, but who knows? And then finally, you've got Magic Kingdom's Frontierland is undergoing a transformation. So starting July 7th, Tom Sawyer's Island, Liberty Square Riverboat, and Rivers of America will temporarily close for the arrival of Piston Pete National Park, which is a Cars-themed area with trails, a ranger lodge, and possibly new race-style ride. And so I know the Cars franchise has a lot of people excited in general, and so this can be a great way to bring those folks into the fold as well.
Yeah, I think that's the most interesting change. Well, not really the most interesting change, but the one I'm more curious about because I'm wondering what's going to happen with Liberty Square Riverboat area and things like that. But I am excited about the Avatar theme. I'm sad to see Monsters Inc. go. But I can imagine them doing some really cool things with Avatar Land, whatever it's officially going to be called. But that's the one that I'm looking forward to the most. But I'm curious to see about the Cars themed area and how they're going to utilize that whole lot.
Yeah, a lot of, as Disney does, a lot of things always in the works. To that end, some new openings.
Yeah, speaking of, always doing something new at Hollywood Studios, The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure opened on May 27th, bringing a fresh take to the space that used to house Voyage of the Little Mermaid. It's got gorgeous projections, puppets, and all your favorite songs, but with a more modern stage show vibe. And over in Disneyland, starting July 17th, the park's 70th anniversary. I can't believe it's just 70 with all that they've had happening, but you'll find a brand new experience at the Opera House, Walt Disney: A Magical Life. It includes an audio animatronic Walt and rare footage and artifacts. Definitely one for Disney history fans. I think that would be a really cool experience as well.
That would make a Disney history buff pretty happy. This just making me remember this, but not to, I guess, promote another YouTuber podcaster, but I just saw that Mr. Beast, if you're not familiar, it's just, someone he's a very famous YouTuber who does extreme videos.
Yeah.
And one of them is he took his, I guess, fiance now and friends to Disneyland at night. They had the whole park to themselves. And that was
Oh,
the first time ever Disneyland did a parade at night, just like a private parade. It was for the first time. So it sounds like Disneyland is open to doing, I mean, that was a special occasion for sure, but it sounds like they really do try to focus in on very special moments, and which relates to this podcast of magic moments. So
yeah. I've heard of Mr. Beast doing some really interesting things, but I did not know that he was able to secure Disneyland all to himself. With with a private parade and everything. So that's really interesting that Disney was able to accommodate that or was willing to. I'm sure it was worth their
right,
while to be able to do
right.
that.
Once we hit 400 million followers, then we'll get the private parade. Oh.
Okay, I hope so.
So next up, new lands coming. So some bigger things happening. So we do have an Avatar land coming to California, a California Adventure. So this is promising a more intimate and immersive version of Pandora, likely built around a boat ride inspired by the Navi River journey, which probably a lot of folks are familiar with. And then a Coco-themed land. So this is expected later this year at Pixar Pier. And think of it as a blend of Dia de los Muertos celebration, pirate-style dancing, or detailing in vibrant music-filled streets. Coco-filled, I don't know how many current there. I'm not sure there are much Coco-related rides or whatnot now, but this will be a huge introduction to Coco for those who are interested in that character. And then last up, and the one that I think probably made the most major headlines recently, is that there's going to be Disneyland Abu Dhabi. So it's the first ever park in the Middle East. It'll be on Yas Island and licensed to Meral, featuring Emirate-inspired architecture and Disney storytelling. So you'll get basically the cultural experience plus the Disney character experience. And then this is more broadly part of Disney's $60 billion parks investment push, which, I think live experiences are still going to rule the day ultimately. And so very curious how Disney plans to deploy that capital beyond the Middle East, but not surprising that they would take kind of such an entertainment hub and choose to invest there.
Especially for families with young kids, sometimes you want to go out and adventure and you can, but you also want a place where it'll be a little family friendly too, and your kids can see something familiar with the characters and things like that. Not that you would only do Disney in your travel, but it's a really good thing to include sometimes if Disney is around. And recently, so something a little more that's happening now, and Walt Disney World has a 50% off ticket offer for kids ages 3 through 9, speaking of families and travel. And it's good through September 20th. So that's a good opportunity to go to Disney World in Florida and see if you can basically get half off of your expenses for your little ones. Good to go days are back for annual pass holders on select June dates. So on those days, there are no park reservations needed for Magic Kingdom, Epcot, or Hollywood Studios. There's also a coolest summer ever promotion. Magic Kingdom has pop-up character parties, Epcot has water-themed kid zones, and don't miss the themed snacks and treats across all 4 parks. That's sometimes my favorite thing, especially as you know, Chris, I told you at Epcot. Finally, if you're into night hours like Mr. Beast, after hours events are back at Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Typhoon Lagoon on rotating June nights.
Awesome. Whenever I go to Disney, I think there often aren't deals available. And, I think you just have to put in a little bit of effort. But, Disney does try to make it more affordable, particularly with prices rising in general for young families, which they cater to basically primarily, along with a number of Disney adults, to make it affordable that these folks can go. And so these are definitely ones to look out for, particularly as you head through the end of summer.
I always say when you're traveling to Disney, unless, you have a certain time that you have to go or you want to go, it doesn't matter. Definitely look for deals because as you're saying, Chris, they are out there. So you just have to plan ahead.
Yep. Well, perfect. So that wraps this episode of Magic Moments. Whether you're planning a trip or just love keeping up with the magic, we're glad you joined us.
And we want to hear from you. What's got you excited? Avatar, Coco, or something else entirely? Come say hi on Instagram. We're at Disney Parks News Blog.
Until next time, stay curious, stay magical.
And we'll see you real soon.